Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Conversations with the Soul. I'm Rita Hickman, and I'm a body mind expert and a shiatsu massage therapist in the Chicagoland area. And it's a beautiful morning out today. It's, as you can see, it's sunny, but it's a little bit cold here. And I'm just trying to enjoy the last few really great days of fall. So I'm so glad that you're joining me today for a little while. And this week we are talking about intuition, and which was suggested by one of our live stream watchers, that intuition was a topic she was really interested in. And since my specialty is body mind, I'm able to give a lot of great body mind tools and hacks that help women and men really tap into who they're supposed to be and become the people that they've always been meant to be. So intuition is a really big part of it. So yesterday we talked about what intuition was. And intuition is, from my point of view, basically a combination of your felt sense, what you're feeling in your body. Good morning, Ginger. How nice to see you. What you're feeling in your body, tempered with what you are, with your wisdom and your logic and your knowledge. It's a balance of the two. So intuition isn't just one or the other. It's when you take your whole self, and that comes in with the message. So in your body and in your mind, it's like a caucus. So you've got everything in your body has its own point of view and its own purpose in life. And because of that, they all have a voice. And with all those voices going on at the same time, in your subconscious and in your body mind, intuition can be very tricky. You get the best intuition when everybody is sort of on board, when intuition isn't just the loudest voice that comes out, but when everybody or the majority of all your different consciousnesses are on board, then you have really great intuition. Now, there are a bunch of things that get in the way, and we've talked about that in the last couple weeks. You know, when you don't feel good, your intuition isn't very accurate, because it's very easy to confuse a felt sense like abdominal discomfort, gas, not digesting well, with anxiety. And it's very easy to combine heart challenges with anger or fear or vulnerability. So, not feeling good is a big block to our intuition. But I've given you some great steps: drinking your water, the water cure every morning, and drinking before you eat, getting your fiber in your diet, getting your blood sugar level. My favorite is potato salad before bed. All those very basic things in order to start cleaning it up. So today we're going to talk about the nervous system and how your nervous system fits into all of this, and how you can use your nervous system to help you strengthen your intuition. So let's start with a story. Your intuition used to be fantastic. If you're watching this, you've probably started out life as a very intuitive soul, a very intuitive being. And your body and your mind naturally knew, without you having to figure it out, when to be born, how to grow, what needed to unfold, almost magically. It was taken care of. Your intuition, your subconscious and your body mind knew exactly what to do. But what happens? What happens is we decide and discover that life is a lot more uncomfortable than we expected. For a lot of us who have a sensitive nervous system or a really great intuition or felt sense, life was overwhelming. We could feel everything. You felt everybody's energy. You felt everybody's bad mood, everybody's issue. And as a child, you really don't have too many defense mechanisms against it. You feel everything. Babies know what's going on around them. Children know what's going on around them. And you did too. Or possibly you grew up in a family where, there was fighting, or there was alcoholism, or there was abuse, or difficult things happened, or bullying, or, that's life, isn't it? We can't quite get away from it. But as sensitive beings, as intuitive beings, that stuff is really hard. And so one of our first defense mechanisms, so that we don't feel so much because we feel big, is our nervous system shuts down and we go into fight or flight. So most of us are in fight or flight the majority of our lives because we don't even know we're in it. We don't know why we feel the way that we do. In fact, we only know when we don't feel in fight or flight rather than when we are. And it's time to start making that shift, to shift it the opposite way. If you want really great intuition, you have to be in fight or flight minimum and ease and comfort and balance the rest of the time. So what probably happened when life got uncomfortable is your nervous system kicked in to protect you. When your nervous system kicks in so you don't feel, it tightens the blood vessels, especially on the skin, so that all of those chemicals, all of the adrenaline and the and the negative, icky, uncomfortable feelings and hormones, so that they don't circulate around your body, so you don't feel them. Remember, emotions are chemicals. And if the chemicals are making us uncomfortable, the best way that our body knows how to stop those chemicals is to actually block them, to stop and slow the circulation. Now that then creates a host of other problems. That creates heart problems, because now our heart has to work so much harder in order to pump our blood. We develop inflammatory issues like rheumatoid arthritis or our body attacking itself, all sorts of immune deficiency sorts of things. Those chemicals, if they're blocked, can be absorbed into different organs, and then it can cause different sorts of organ failures. It can cause different sorts of imbalances in the body. So when we block these feelings because life is too uncomfortable, because we're so, good morning, Mark, because we're so sensitive to the world around us, when we block that off, it starts to create health problems, and then it just sort of spirals down. In fact, I read this great research piece a couple years ago. Being a massage therapist, I love the topic of stress, and they talked about how stress is only a bad thing if you think stress is a bad thing. If you think stress is bad, your nervous system shuts down. And when it shuts down, as I said, all of that cascade of things happens. The chemicals can't circulate, we don't sweat them out, we don't pee them out, we don't work them out, and they get absorbed someplace else and they start causing problems. And that tightening of the skin and the blood vessels causes problems with their heart and then causes problems later on in life. Things like rheumatoid or fibromyalgia or other health conditions like that. A lot of things come down to one of the first ways our body could cope, which was to go into the fight or flight. And when it's there, when it's in that space in a regular basis, it warps our growing body. And it creates then, unfortunately, long-term issues that we have to then deal with as life goes by. So if you had a great parent, if you had someone who could help you walk through this stuff, then you were able to accept stress as a natural, normal part of life. But if you were emotionally abandoned in any way, left to your own devices to figure out how to cope, that's when we developed these habits and patterns, which then created, health issues later on. So here you are. You've got these health issues. You're in fight or flight on a regular basis. You're overwhelmed. You're exhausted. You're tired. It's difficult to function. And now you're supposed to have really great intuition in order to protect you from the people who are out there, and the situations who are out there. So how do we start to reverse this fight or flight cycle? The first thing is start getting your foundational pieces in place. And as I said, we've already talked about that. But the second thing is you need to start getting out of that fight or flight. Because when you do, then your intuition will kick in. Then you'll be able to hear what your body mind is saying and look at it from a logical, rational, wisdom, higher power, higher self point of view. So how do I do that? How do I dial down my nervous system? Because believe me, My nervous system was on high alert for forever. It's one of the reasons I had to get into massage therapy, because it was the only thing that would help me cope with the fact that my skin was buzzing, the fact that I triggered over everything, that I felt so terrible. The nervous system was a really big piece of it. And massage therapy helped me create an environment that let me dial it down. So here are the hacks. Here's the shortcuts. If you want to start dialing into your intuition more accurately and more effectively, you have to find ways to get your system calmed down. Here are my best ones. Exercise. Not during exercise, because during exercise your dopamine level shoots up and you're in a really happy, fuzzy-wuzzy sort of space and you like the world and everything's cool. That's not very good intuition. You know, that's kind of the rose-colored glasses sort of point of view. So exercise not during it, but after it. Because after exercise, your body comes back into a homeostasis, that balance. And in that balance, you can feel your body. It feels pretty good. You can hear what your mind and your intuition and consciousness has to say, and that will lead you in the right direction. My next hack is what was in the title, which was Paul Simon. One of the ways that I get my nervous system to, I break that pain pattern, is I listen to music that sucks me into it. So I become very present into that flow of the music. And that music is able to shift my consciousness and shift my perspective. And even if I can get out of that pain cycle for a little bit, it gives my intuition a chance to pop up so that I can hear it. So music, whenever I work with people in my office, in my space, music is a really big key part of it. And Paul Simon, because come on, really, who doesn't love Paul Simon? Who doesn't think that his music, you know, at least puts you in a happy general state of mind? So Paul Simon is one of my favorites. The next thing that I'll do is I'll make sure I'll do really nourishing and nurturing things for my body so that it feels good. For me, that may mean taking a bath. A bath is great because it gives you a different physical sensation, and it's able to block off any discomfort that you may have. It also increases the circulation, opens up the blood vessels, and helps you get out of that fight or flight, especially if the light is dim, you know, because the bright light can put you on that high stimulus alert, kind of like playing with your phone or working on the computer. That light tells your brain to wake up, tells your brain to be present and functional. So if you bring the lights down, then that will help calm things down as well. If you light a few candles, the flickering of the candle light will distract your body-mind visually and get you out of that fight or flight pattern. You can also do it with herbal medicines like chamomile tea. You can do it with GABA, kava kava. There's a wide variety of herbal things out there that will help bring you out of fight or flight. Well, I thank you, Bonnie. I really appreciate your that comment. So herbal things will get you out of fight or flight. My next major hack is to get out in nature. One of the things that I do is hot stone massage. It's called stone medicine, and I learned it from a beautiful indigenous woman that taught me how to use stones and bring nature everywhere that I go. So when I do a hot stone massage, I take my stones and I leave them outside for a while, and they start to resonate to the same vibration as the earth. Now the vibration of the earth is measurable. And so they've found that that vibration, when recreated in other settings, thanks, Ginger, for that tip. I really appreciate it, of your detox. That's important. The vibration of the earth calms and levels our body out. Our body entrains to that vibration. Now, we can't always go outside for a walk or sit outside on the earth. You know, we have seasons here in Illinois, and it gets kind of cold, or we don't have the time. But you can have things outside which entrain to the earth and then bring them inside. As long as you take them outside on a regular basis, you know, every few days or maybe every night, you just set them outside on the ground. And then when you come back in, you bring them back in. So I would leave my stones outside. They would entrain to the vibration of the earth, and then I would bring them in, and I would place them, on people's bodies, and that vibration would help calm things down, break that pattern of fight or flight. So you can use pretty much anything, but stones are really great for picking up and holding that earth vibration, that earth tone. And so then you can place it everywhere around you. You can place it in your pockets. You can place it in your bra if you want. Anything to get your body to resonate to that calmer, lower key state of existence. So you can either go outside and do it, or you can bring nature in to you and do it. What else do I use to break my pattern of fight or flight? That would be touch. Body work, whether it be energy work, massage, whether it be hands-on healing, whether it be your pet, whether it be your spouse. Touch, skin-to-skin touch especially, is one of the best ways to calm down your nervous system, because that skin-to-skin touch tells your body that it's just time to dial it down, that it's safe, that it's okay. And so, like in dog training, I had a wonderful client of mine, and she was talking about dog training, and how when she would leave the room, her dog would find someone or something to cuddle up next to because it felt anxious. And the trainer told her that's the natural, defense mechanism or calming thing that her dog does, that every dog does, and children do as well. Why do they hide behind the skirts of their mother? They want to be close to that. We want to be close to that warmth, that life, that body. It helps us feel safe. So that's one of the reasons I think people love cats, sit on their chest and purr, or dogs give you that sense of love and security, as I said, or spouses, or body work or energy work. And that will dial it down tremendously. So here's the deal. If you want your intuition to kick in, you need to do any of these things that break the fight or flight pattern. You also have to give yourself permission to do them. You have to say, you know what, I'm going to do this. This is important. I want to tap into my intuition. I want to get out of the fight or flight. I'm going to do whatever the thing I do that calms me down. Cooking. It could be cooking. It could be housework. It could be whatever. After the fact is when the wisdom comes. It's not while you're doing it. It's not while you're cooking or while you're exercising, because that's in the flow. That's what's breaking the pattern of fight or flight and stress. On the other side, when you've done that, is when you get the intuition and the insights. For me, I like to plan regular, daily, or every other day things that help me move the energy, get me into flow, so that I can tap into my intuition. It's a part of my routine. It's a part of my schedule. So if you make that a regular habit of your life, then your intuition will be much better at guiding you. It'll do a much better job at telling you the direction to go, what you need to do, how you need to do it. All of that higher wisdom, that higher guidance, your guides, your angels, whatever you want to call it. So it's on the other side of this that you get what you're looking for, the guidance that you're looking for. Now here's one weird little thing to consider. A lot of us have injuries, illnesses, problems in our body. And our main goal and desire in life is to get rid of them. I would like to suggest something different. You have suffered a lot for whatever this injury is, whether it's a shoulder injury or a hip injury or a knee problem or an ankle problem, or if it's your rheumatoid or if it's an inflammation or headaches or whatever it may be. You have paid a lot already to have this issue. And because you've paid for it, you should get some benefit from it. You should get a lot of benefit from the price you paid for this ongoing health or pain issue that you have. So how do you do that? First of all, you get to a point where you dial down the issue so that it's not as big of a deal. So it's something that you can cope with, it's something that you can manage. And then when the issue flares up, You use that as a piece of information. That's your body mind talking to you. The areas that you've had chronic pain and chronic issues are highly sensitized. The parts of your body that have old injuries are highly sensitized. They're more likely to get inflamed. They're more likely to have problems because they're weaker. They're now a weaker part of your body. That's not a bad thing, because that weakness is what sometimes helps give you the guidance that you need, because you need a part of you that isn't strong. You need a part of you that can't power through everything to say, you know what, we're having a problem here. We need to do something about this. So if you've paid dearly for a health issue that you have, consider that you might not want to get rid of it entirely. You might not want to beat yourself up or be angry at yourself because you haven't magically cured yourself and fixed it. Look at it as a part of you that gives you wisdom and insight and understanding. So I used to have a pain in my shoulder. I had it for about 10 years. And it felt like an ice pick behind my left shoulder blade. And I did everything. I did yoga, I did stretching. The only thing that really helped was when I changed my life, when I changed how I lived my life. You know, when I started to put all of these tools into place of self-care. And I changed how I engaged and interacted. Every so often, my shoulder will flare up again. And what that tells me is that I'm coming to an edge. I need to make a change. I need to turn left instead of right. It's information and wisdom for me that I suffered a long time with. And now it's manageable, but I really don't want it to go away for forever, because it's my warning sign. It's the canary in the coal mine. When I have a health issue flare up, when something flares up, it's not that I need to beat myself up about it. It's that it's my body telling me that I need to make a course correction. I need to pay attention to something that maybe I haven't been paying attention to. Maybe it's more self-care, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a situation, maybe I need to speak up, whatever it may be. So don't vilify and be angry at yourself for having these war wounds and these scars and these past memories and triggers and issues. You know what? That's part of your intuition too. When you can love those parts of you and accept them and bring them in to the fold, let's say, bring your consciousness back into them, then they will tell you exactly what you need to do. The more connected you are with your body, the better your intuition is. And so it's okay that it's got all of these faults and all of these flaws, because they're part of the wisdom that you've worked really hard to work through. And it's wisdom that other people do not have. Because you've been through the wars, because you've been through the fights and the traumas and the issues and the difficulties, you've got insight, understanding, awareness, and intuition that other people can never have unless they've walked in your shoes. You should own that and be proud of that and be glad that you've got it and thankful. Because if you do, now it's another tool in your toolbox that you can use to take you in the direction you want to go. So thanks for listening to me today. Tomorrow, I think we're going to be talking about how to heighten your body-mind awareness, the things that you can do to, now that you've broken the pain cycle, how you're able to really sense and feel and talk to all the different consciousnesses that your body and your mind has, and really use them as the wisdom and the tools that they are. So thanks for joining me. I'm so glad you were here. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8:15. If you'd like to be a guest, send me a message and we'll set something up. If you'd like more information about this stuff, go to inspiredmassage.com, sign up for our daily emails. And you can also make an appointment with me, because I love to help people, and I love to help people move in a really great direction. Thanks, Ginger. I really appreciate your validation and your love. I hope you have a great rest of your day, everybody. Ciao.